Welcome to the OAPN Podcast with your host, Adarsh Sakare. No bullshit, no cuts. 100% raw conversations with 0% fucks to give. We don't encourage the consumption of alcohol, but if you want to open up a cold one while you watch this, it's not a bad idea.
Welcome to episode number 80 of On a Personal Note with Adarsh Sakare. It's been a while since we shot. Last few days we haven't been shooting, so it's good to be back. On the last episode, we had Ashwin Mandot. I think Ashwin was, I jump the gun sometimes, but I think I'm going to be right on this that, gave me this feel of taking over the country with his music. It's still early days, but he has that to him. So it was nice to meet him. If you haven't watched that, you should definitely check it out. Today is yet another special episode. Before I speak a little about him, let's say hi to Azaan. Hi, Azaan.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, man. How are things with you?
Superb.
I'm glad you're in black.
I'm always in black.
Yeah. Is that your thing too?
For the moment, yeah. Till I get a little bit more into my routine, hit the gym, it's safer in black.
Wow. You shouldn't be saying that. Because that's the hidden reason behind all the other stories that we...
I'm here to speak truth, to share it with everyone.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty true. But anyway, so Azaan's here. A little about why we got Azaan here and why we approached Azaan. I think we are in this space of content creation, building a community, monetizing that community, building businesses on that, and it's an exciting time for some of these things. And I think Azaan has been one of those pioneers in ensuring that it's looked at in a much structured format, in looking at it in a way that multiple stakeholders can be associated and all of them can gain out of that. So there is a community that's getting built around the hub. Now, the hub is again, I think, one of those ventures that Bangalore needed, right? We can talk about the country, but I'm talking about Bangalore. In my personal opinion, I think it's one of those places that Bangalore needs. And I think that's the reason why it's also working. The way the hub has been able to work with brands and ensure that that they get a value for their buck has been nice to see. The way the hub has treated creators has also stood as an example for the ecosystem to understand the respect that a creator deserves, and how you go ahead and try and build something with a creator. And I think the relationships they've been able to build with their stakeholders is pretty personal, and that's something we truly kind of look up to. And again, Azaan is young. Azaan is energetic, passionate. He also says that this is not something he really planned, but it came up and now he's tuned in. And of course, the hub has also reached a pretty crazy milestone with being one of the main partners for the NAS Summit, organizing that in Bangalore. And congrats on the success for that. It was nice to see that happen, right? It was nice to see that happen, and it's come through. So there's a lot to talk about. We're also gonna, there's a lot of content around the hub. Of course, Azaan driving that amount of content, but here's our attempt of driving some content around Azaan that maybe doesn't exist. And here's your chance to kind of get him know better. If you know him, great. This is your chance. If you don't know him, if you followed the hub off late, and if you've seen the videos and have no idea how all of that is happening, then here's your chance. So welcome to the episode. Welcome, Azaan. Welcome to
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And you said Bangalore needed something like the hub. I don't know about that, but I know I needed something like the hub.
Yeah.
And I think that's how I got into this.
Okay. Why did you need it?
I felt like I needed it because I studied in Bishop's till about 6th. Then I studied in Bombay for a year, came back, studied in an international school called BIS, really small school. Went abroad to LA, had the opportunity to go study at USC, do my undergrad there, studied entrepreneurship, marketing, was involved in a lot of clubs, made a lot of friends, traveled across the US, traveled across like most of the world during those 4 years. And got in sync with this really high-paced environment of thinking and the speed at which things move, right? If you wanted to in the West, it was just like I found my flow. At the same time, I always knew I was going to come back. I was not that kid that said I want to go there and I want to be there, because family is important to me. I wanted to come back. I wanted to be here, and I think there was a foundation for me to build upon. And that was important to me. So, but what I didn't realize is once I did come back, that change in pace, right? You can go learn how to do business entrepreneurship. I studied entrepreneurship. You can go learn how to do entrepreneurship at USC, one of the best business schools, and they'll tell you how to like build your plan and go do this. And then you come back to this. I am so proud of my city, of my country, but those rules and that playbook doesn't necessarily apply here.
It doesn't.
Right? It doesn't. So yeah, I think when I came back, it was frustrating for me because I wanted to move fast. I had all these ideas and I felt like I had to either change the way I worked or I had to dress a certain way. If I wanted people to take me seriously, I would have to wear a suit. Even here, when I came back, I was a kid. I was like 22. What was I? I was like 22, 23. I was 23 because the Hub's turning 7 next month. And
Oh, you're 29.
I'm 30 now. Yeah.
Oh, you're 30. Okay.
Yeah. I know I don't look like it, but yeah. So I think when I came back and when the Hub started, there's just a lot of stuff that happened. But primarily, I wanted to create a space where people like me. I wasn't a creator at all back then. Even now, I'm not a creator. I identify more as an entrepreneur, a builder. But I just wanted a place where people who wanted to do cool shit, who wanted to build something, who wanted to get creative, could come, be themselves, and no judgment, and just build things based on how good their ideas were, not how they looked, how they dressed, or what they said, but their work could speak for itself.
That's where you needed something like the Hub.
I needed it because I wanted that environment. I was in such a high-paced environment, in such a cool, collaborative environment in LA. And then I came back here and I was so disconnected.
Yeah.
And I was looking for that environment. I couldn't find it. And I think subconsciously over a period of time, I just built it around myself.
Yeah, you're like, fuck it, I'll create one myself.
Yeah. In hindsight, it seems like it looks like it was planned, but yeah, it was, every day was just a new discovery.
New discovery. So were there any other names for the Hub?
No, I think it was so simple when I didn't overthink the name. I don't think most people could, like, I couldn't have seen what the Hub has manifested into year after year after year.
Yeah.
But it started out as a very simple concept for co-living in India.
Yeah.
Back then there was no co-living, and we wanted to create an environment where people could kind of...
the initial thought was co-living.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much...
Even till today, it's like everything that we start, it kind of... Only when it stabilizes do we go and start the next thing. So we're about 7 years old as a startup, and we have 7 completely different verticals within the Hub.
Yeah.
And each one kind of like builds upon the previous one.
That's nice. So you were 23.
Yeah.
Basically 23. And so what, you... discussed the Hub with someone?
Not really. I'm not the kind to go discuss things. I just do it and then I deal with it. I think even right now I'm trying to, since I turned 30, and like I always told myself, once I hit 30, I'm gonna think things through a little bit more, and at least like try and either think before or think after, like reflect and think. So I try to create space and time for me to think and understand what is it that I'm trying to do. Why am I trying to do so many things? Why does the Hub do so many things? Most people say you should do one thing, you should do it very well, and you should scale in it. But if you see our path, we have grown horizontally. We have not grown vertically, which is very, very, very strange, especially because also we have not raised any funding, and each of our ventures funds itself and funds the next one. Yeah. So it's a very unique model.
No, I get it. And there's no right and wrong in business, right? Like if it suits you, it suits you.
I mean, I'm happy.
So anyway, going back to some of these questions, so you spend some time by yourself, you're trying to define this vision for yourself, etc. And then what are your friends telling you? Like, are your friends asking you to like take up a job? Are your friends asking you about the hub? What was your circle speaking about when you kicked things off? Did they get it?
I feel like people got me and they knew that my intentions were to do something good. And I think I got a lot of support. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here today. From my family, from my dad, from my friends. I still remember when we celebrated the first year, second year, third year, fourth year of the hub. After the fifth, we stopped celebrating it, but like the way we used to. But there were these huge parties, and I think it was the third year of the hub. My friends printed out a massive billboard and stuck it on the building. A billboard of me
plaza
of me and my team and Zuzu, our puppy. So that's a lot of support, right? That I think a lot of entrepreneurs or builders may not always get. So I'm very cognizant of the fact that I've got all that support, which has enabled me to come this far. Because alternatively, that journey could have been a lonely one. Right? Yeah. So I really do appreciate this.
It's always exciting with the people around you.
Yeah. It's a more enjoyable journey.
More enjoyable.
Yeah.
You'd rather do that than walk by yourself. And how did it go with? So I haven't. Unfortunately, I haven't been to the space yet. I did want to ensure that I was there once at least before we do this. But so be it. I'll be there soon. But the space and how much space you took up, was that something you discussed with your family? How did that go about?
Yeah, I think with everything that I try to do, I'm just trying to solve a problem. And my approach to solving problems is always bringing people together. I will like the word community is extremely abused today in terms of marketing and branding and all of that. Overused, yeah. But I think it's something that is it's very important to me in the way that I do things. I want to solve problems by bringing people together. And I think that's what has kind of led us here. So when I did start, I wasn't starting the hub. I wasn't starting my startup. I was helping my dad fix our hotel, our family hotel that was making a loss. The hub was an attempt to monetize.
And the hotel was called?
Safina Hotel.
Safina
Right?
Hotel.
So we just
all in the same building?
Same building. We just celebrated 40 years of Safina Plaza, which my granddad had built practically with his own hands. And iconic heritage property in Bangalore, one of the first malls. Yeah. And nobody knew that there was a Safina Hotel inside it.
I didn't know myself.
Right? So as iconic as the mall might have been, the hotel was kind of not known. And the hub was just an attempt to monetize that asset, which was bleeding. And that's
using co-live as a concept.
Using co-living as a concept because and that comes down to my approach of community, right? I could have tried 7 things back then. All of these partnerships, or like price, or like e-commerce, or anything. But I just thought it would be cooler if people in Bangalore had what I had when I was in LA, which was that community living concept.
Yeah.
So it started like that.
So that's where it started. And did it help? So did it help monetize?
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't be here if it didn't. It did. It was a slow burn. We started with 1 room on Nestaway, and then the second on Airbnb. And our first year, it still said Safina Hotels outside the sign because we didn't have the cash flow to get a sign for the hub. Our first 1 year, the people who lived there didn't have a kitchen or a washing machine. They washed their clothes in their shower cubicle. They cooked their food in a microwave that they all shared together. But the first few people who came in, again, this is what I mean by support. And this is why I love Bangalore. Because the people here are so open-minded and they are always willing to adjust a little to give birth to something new. And I think that's why we are the Silicon Valley of India, right? So the first year, most of the members that moved in, and they ended up staying for 3-4 years, a lot of them, they came in on our word that we would give them a kitchen in 6 months, or we would give them laundry facilities in a year. That's a really long time if you are living and paying rent in a property and you expect that to be your house without laundry and food facilities. Yeah. But that enabled us to add those facilities in. And then we went out of our way. We created a gym. We had co-working. We did all of this because we wanted to give back then.
That's pretty awesome, right? And I think your grandfather will be pretty proud. And this is the way family businesses work, right? Like there'll be one successful business and the hope is that the future generations will look at it in a very different way and ensure that it becomes relevant to the day. And you have basically proven that, yes, that's possible.
I think we have a long way to go, but this has been our journey so far, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing 3 years from now, but yeah, it's been an amazing journey.
But I think the brand also has a name, right? When you say Safina Plaza, I think at least for the 90s kids who grew up in Bangalore, including myself, Safina Plaza is one of those places that we all went to. You know where Safina Plaza is. You just can't not know what is Safina Plaza. And I think that's a nice thing as well. And to take that and now say that, hey, you know what, we're looking at things very differently. I think your family should be pretty proud of it.
Yeah, I think what's been humbling for me in understanding, my goal is I want to make an impact. I want to build my brand, but I don't want to disrespect the foundation that was laid that allowed me to do it. So Safina Plaza is still Safina Plaza. The hub is still the hub. And so the younger generation, Gen Z, millennial may know the hub, but like you said, pre-90s may know Safina Plaza, and that balance of getting them both to have their place, that is what has taken a lot of effort.
That's nice. You got siblings?
I have a younger sister, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And she gets what you're doing?
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to her the other day, and she younger sisters aren't they the best? I'm kidding. But yeah, she's also been really supportive, and she's still figuring out. She's doing so many experiments and trying to figure out what she wants to do. She has this really cool thrift store. It's called Thrift Tribe. Check it out.
Wow.
If you guys want to...
You guys are nailing these names.
If you guys want to get access to my clothes at 95% off, you may want to check out my sister's thrifting startup called Thrift Tribe.
How to plug 101.
I come into my closet looking for stuff, and I can't find my favorite t-shirt. And I'm like, where is it? I've like ransacked the house for it. And I go to her Instagram and it's available for sale as a lost leader. What's going on?
Sweet stuff.
Yep.
That's nice. So she's also pretty on the line of building something for herself.
Yeah, she's figuring it out. She's doing a bunch of internships. She's doing some consulting, marketing stuff. She's helping my dad with modernize the mall's Safina Plaza's branding. And she has her project, which is Thrift Tribe. I'm trying to get her to work with me at the hub, but not so far. Not succeeded.
Not succeeded. And then how's been the in school in Cotton's? Did you have good pocket money, or what was the scene?
Yeah, I mean, I can never complain. I think I always had everything easy. And I feel like I don't know. I think I loved school. I loved Cotton's. I loved my school after that. It was a really small international school called BIS.
Okay.
I got so many leadership opportunities. I got sports opportunities. Yeah. It was really, really like, I can't say I had any complaints. Then I got the opportunity to go abroad. I got to study there. I got to be part of clubs. I got to like be on the board of organizations, all of this stuff. So I had what I would say like a really good
mad support.
Mad support. And that's what like makes me feel today that like I have to do something that makes so much of an impact that justifies that support that went in.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you know,
that's what defines who you are, right?
Yeah.
That's where the definition starts building. Did you get that support and sit back on the recliner?
Yeah.
Or did you get that support and say, hey, you know what?
I want to like give that to someone.
I'm gonna fucking multiply this and give it back because this was great.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm glad you acknowledged that, because I feel like that speaks a lot about who you are. Coming back to some of these things. So now the hub starts, and then the co-live is this idea to ensure that there's enough, kind of stabilizes the financial condition of it and things like that. And who was the first person that you employed? Was there a first person? I mean, there should be. I mean, you have a team today.
We've had over 100 people that have been part of.
And I don't know if is that first person with you with the team? Yeah. Okay. Let's hear a little about.
I think
how does that work?
The first person I took my dad's advice was our finance person.
Okay, lovely.
So it was me and a finance person. And I remember talking to me, he's like, where's the money? That was the first question he asked me. And I looked at him and I was like, where's the money? Right? So I think, again, that's what I mean by support, right? My dad never interfered in my business or told me what to do. But he gave me that support at the right time by like sending that signal that your first person is your finance person.
Yeah.
Right? You would think your first person is a sales person or an operations person. But yeah, we've had amazing people who've helped us build the hub into what it is. So right now, our CEO, he's going to be completing 6 years with us. We've had people who've been with us for 6 years, 5 years, 4 years, and I feel like to build something like the hub, it's not possible without, like, everything we do is community, whether it's co-living, co-working, events, studios, media, digital community, agency, all of these things, they're all relationship driven businesses. And people don't necessarily care about what table they're working on. They care about who says hi to them when they walk in the morning, right? And if that person, if you're not able to deliver that experience and that friendship, right, and that companionship to people, whatever you may be offering as a service, it's not the same. It's not the same. And then you're getting into a commodity business.
How does Azaan hire?
I'm still figuring this one out. I feel like I make way too many mistakes here.
Tell me something you not who you went wrong with, but something you went wrong with, or maybe somewhere where you jumped the gun. And
I always jump the gun in everything I do. In everything I do, I'm very spontaneous. I don't I look at vibe. I feel like I look at energy and all of this stuff. But for me, what matters is how someone communicates, right? In any of the things that I do, they're very relationship driven. And I've said this a million times. If you're a great communicator and if you're a people's person, a lot of the other stuff I can teach you myself, or the team will teach you. But if that's not there, then the hub's not a place for a person if that's not there, because we need that. That's our core, right? So sometimes I feel like we go wrong there because we value that more than, let's say, domain expertise, right? Like someone may say, why does your website developer have to have a vibe, right? But to me, like, I want every person in our team to be someone that I can call a friend, or that I can talk to, that can pull me up on a down day, because like I work 12, 14 hours a day and I'm always there. I just need, when I'm in my 11th hour, 13th hour, 16th hour, I want someone there who like comes and like just makes me smile. Because that helps me to give that back to the other 40 people that need it from me. So I think it's really important. But at the same time, I think I'm not going to give hiring advice, because I feel like I need that right now as we're trying to level up and really kind of like make a bigger impact this year.
Yeah, I think it's difficult, right? When you go on vibe and energy and things like that, I think it works out 9 out of 10 times. But I think that 10% is the cost we pay to live the way that we want to live. I think that's what
I've said so far is worth it. Just keep going. But I don't know what it's going to be moving forward.
Lovely. And when you were building like the initial team, was it easy for you as an entrepreneur to communicate the vision? Because again, you've also stood up pretty strong in terms of saying, hey, you know what, as the hub, I'm not going to completely define what the hub is, because I always want to be open to what it's capable of. And usually the way an entrepreneur gets a commitment from a person is by very solidly defining the end goal. So what are you selling to your folks?
Yeah, I think, again, the intent, like if you really want to go down and deep into it and figure it out, and to answer your question, no, I'm not good at communicating it, but I have been spending a lot of time thinking about it. I think now looking back, when I'm trying to figure out what's the common theme, I think after the pandemic, the next pandemic that's ongoing, and it's going to be ongoing for a while, is the loneliness pandemic, right?
Yeah.
And we might be hyper connected through social media. We might be living in these congested apartment complexes, or we might be working in congested co-working spaces. But I feel like we're not as connected as we could be.
Professionally or personally, you're saying?
I'm saying more on the personal side, on the mental health side, on the personal side. Like we follow each other on Instagram, but we follow we know 1,000 people, but how well do we know them?
Yeah.
And can we really talk to them on a fundamental level? Like, are we really connected, or are we superficially connected? And am I just looking at what car you're driving?
Yeah.
Right. So I think in terms of like a broad mission, we're always trying to connect people. And we're just trying to, like my title, if you look at my title from day one, now this title is like, I feel like a trending title nowadays.
Chief Happiness Officer.
7 years ago, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I wanted to make people happy and I wanted to build a business where I could do that. Right? Whether it's making people live together, work together, come to events together, shoot content together, where a creator house, right? If you look at the Hub, I'm not on it.
Yeah.
That's by design, right? I don't want any one person to get all the attention. It has to be distributed, because if the good is distributed, then the bad will also be distributed, and that's how we make it sustainable.
And that's what you're selling to folks who are joining in on this job.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm not selling.
That's what they're coming in for.
Yeah,
That's what they're coming in for.
I guess maybe they see that to some extent. Maybe they don't fully understand it because we've not said it. But I feel like that's where that vibe is kind of making sense to them on some level. And I think when people come in, they're still figuring it out. Like 1 year in, 2 years in, 3 years in, we're sitting and we're talking. They're like, so what are we doing exactly? Like, I'm like, I also don't know. What do you think we're doing? Please tell me.
You tell me. There's a reason you're here too. So anyone's like looked down on Azaan?
Oh, so many people.
Hub, Azaan.
So many people.
Judged. Said things that are probably not right, and said things that fired you up. And what are some of these views? What are some of these views of people who don't believe in the Hub or Azaan?
I think what really matters is, do I believe in what I'm doing? And
but tell me something someone said to you.
And if I'm being honest, there have been times in the last 7 years where I have not believed in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what scares me. When I don't believe in what we're doing, or when our team doesn't believe in what we're doing, I think when you realize that as an entrepreneur or as a creator, if you don't believe in the content you're making and you really realize that, if you don't act on it immediately, it's game over.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Right? So I don't really have time to think about what someone else thinks about what I'm doing when I'm spending time figuring out, am I happy with what I'm doing? And is my team happy? And now my team's starting to grow, right? So when you have 40, 50 people working as part of one unit, it takes a lot of listening to constantly make sure everybody's aligned with what we're doing. And yeah, feedback and ORM is important from the broader, your clients, your community members, and let's say the city or the ecosystem you're in. But at the same time, I feel like if you're really trying to make an impact and you're trying to do things differently and you want to do it in a way where the value capture is shared in a new format, then of course you're going to piss some people off. Of course, some people are not going to understand. Of course, there are going to be people that are rubbed the wrong way. But as long as your intention is not to hurt somebody or disrupt something in a negative way, I think fuck that shit.
Yeah, I think you're good. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good message to take away from that, right? Just focus on the intention. Anyway, people are gonna be saying shit about what you're doing. Somewhere if you're just focusing on the intention, then everything else just wears away anyway, right? Like those same people will not even be in your path. If they don't believe in you, they're anyway gonna walk out. They don't belong to your vision. Have you made the money that you thought you'll make?
No.
No.
I have made zero money in the last 7 years.
What the fuck do you mean?
But then again, that's where I get to lean on my privilege. I don't need to make money, right? I'm doing what I'm doing to make an impact. I'm wired differently and I can be. And that means I should do it. So to me, it's about how many lives did we change? How many creators did we enable? How many brands did we elevate? And when I talk about brands, and like when most creators, entrepreneurs talk about brands, if you're running an agency, it's like, oh, we worked with brands, we did deals, we got revenue. Like, no. If you see how we work with a brand, we make a brand make an impact, right? So we'll make a brand help children, help women, and make that into content and then inspire and then drive a business result for the brand, but then almost put this pressure on other brands to do good shit.
Oh, wow.
Right? So we don't do ads, we do social impact campaigns. And that's why like it motivates me, because the brand's funding good stuff.
Wow. That's nice. It's a nice way to look at it. What's the team size?
We're 42, I believe, as of today. Yeah.
42.
Yeah.
And most of these folks are in 20s.
I think 70% of our team is female. 80% of our team is under 26.
Oh shit.
And yeah, I think I always say this, but I learn equal amounts, if not more, from the people that are younger than me than from the people that are older than me.
Yeah, they're looking at things very differently.
Yeah.
What are they telling their parents about where they work?
That's a good one. Like that's a really good one. And
Yeah.
I feel like, sometimes when I reflect, which is not often, I ask myself, what the fuck am I really doing? Right? And when I had that first what the fuck moment in year 1 was when about 100 moms had called me saying, "Mera beta, meri beti reh rahi hai, wo ghar pe wapas aaye ki nahi," right? Because I was running a co-living business. And I was accessible. I'm always accessible. I want to be, I'm paranoid. I'm like, something goes wrong, just call me, right? So I used to get calls from all the parents of all the girls and boys living in the hub saying, I can't reach my daughter, they're sleeping in or something, can you figure it out? And even right now, if you look at what I see as my responsibility and what drives me is, let's say, and my dad tells me this, he says, 42 young people that are very talented have risked or have like bet on you, right, to come and join your company because they see something that you guys will do that will elevate their life. So for me it's very personal, right? Their parents on some level are like, should you do that or should you go work in, if you're an agency, they'll be like, go work in Shabang or go work in some bigger agency, right? Why you're going to this hub? Like, what is this hub? Like, where? It's in Savina Plaza, next to the curtain shop. Huh? Like, I don't understand. So, to me, that's... And I love that because I love changing their opinion slowly, if it's needed. In some cases, they understand. Like, a lot of the parents... These two guys who, like, I absolutely love working with, Ronak and Roshan, right? Today, there are co-COOs at the hub. Co-COOs, they're twins. Okay.
Oh.
So 9 months ago, and see how the tables turn. 9 months ago, their mom came to me and spoke to me and said, I want you to meet my kids, my boys. They're really, really smart boys and I think they should work in a place like the hub. Right? So from trying to have to convince people who want to join the team, young people, convince their parents, to parents coming and saying, you know what, our kids probably should be here. It's that really, that's the kick that like, really drives me.
That's pretty awesome, no? Fucking like where it started and like mom's coming to her and saying,
I mean, I couldn't be happier. Like I still am so grateful to her for like making that connect because these guys came in as and there was no position for them. And again, this is where I'm saying hire based on like vibe and whether you're a good human being. And that's very hard to judge, but I feel like to some extent that's an area that I can kind of say that I've had some success, right?
You get it.
Good people. Yeah. I don't know if you're good at what the work you're doing, but you're a good person. That much I know. So they came in, we didn't have a position for them. With most people who come in, they're very, very uncertain the first 1 to 3 months because they're like, what is my job description? What am I doing? Am I just like, is it broad? Am I generalist? Am I specialist? But in the case of, let's say, Ronak and Roshan, they came in, we didn't have a position, but we liked them. So it's okay, founder's office, come in, both of you. We create new positions every week. That didn't even exist, right? Now it's so easy. Go to ChatGPT, like, what does this person do? Cool. Yeah. Right? Start. But now they started founder's office and like over the last 6 months, especially, like I think everything I have to do, I depend on them. HR, finance, operations, sales, structuring the company, events, everything. And I think that's the beauty of when you're small. You don't need to over stress on all these stupid things, right? You're trying to make an impact. You want help. Good people come, help me. Come, let's keep going. Okay, we're getting bigger. There's more work. More people come. Like, just keep it simple.
People come and discuss how much they're making with you.
You mean internally?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm a build in the open. Like, I'll talk about everything we're doing. I'll talk about how we're doing it. I'll talk about why we're doing it. Everything. Mm-hmm. And if people want to talk, let them talk. Yeah. I think it's great because if you show success stories and you show people growing, it motivates everyone else to get off their ass and also say, let me also grow 2x faster. There is no cap on growth at the Hub.
And it's pretty open. It's pretty transparent that way, the way you're building it.
For the most part, I'm sure there are places where we need to be better at. We don't have an HR. I'm the operating HR permanently right now, and there is only so much I can do as a human being, right? There's limited time, there's so many people to take care of. I think we can do a lot better.
Yeah.
But that being said, we are fairly transparent as much as we can without it, causing any issues.
Is there something like, this is something I've personally felt, right? And so once the podcast started for me, and now, of course, things have grown, and I have to spend a lot more time on this, which also says that there are other things that I want to do which are taking a hold, right?
Yes.
And they're also pretty close to my heart, and I know that I can't get around it right now because I've committed to this and I really love doing this.
Yes.
Tell me something that is stuck.
Oh, I am here today because I would love to be on that side, right? I love making content, and I think that's how our digital pivot kind of happened with the Hub. When the lockdown happened and I finally had time, and I wasn't having all this co-living, co-working events responsibilities, the Hub Bengaluru, the digital community that it is today, was born the day COVID hit and the day of the lockdown, right? From that day, I did almost 300 Instagram lives.
Wow.
And I feel like, good or bad, I don't know, but I think I took out the entire creator part of me in that 1.5 years. So now I'm like, I like it, but I think it's gone. I've done it. But yeah, I think it's really important for me. I know you had Justin on the show before.
Yeah.
Justin's an amazing, super talented creator that I think is going to do amazing with his life. We have the opportunity to represent him, and we're working on these really cool concepts. But I feel like if I'm going to be a major driver of our creative business and our media business, it's important I stay in tune with my creator side. Right. And that's why I love going, meeting people, being on podcasts, creating some content when I get the chance. Right. I don't often get the chance. I really want to do more of it, which is what I'm speaking to. But I feel like whenever I do get to do it, I really am learning, I'm absorbing, I'm appreciating, I'm enjoying. I love content. I love creating content. I believe in the power of storytelling. I think it can really impact people because it's impacted me.
What is it that you'll want to do with Justin? Why is Justin tied up with the Hub?
Sure. So again, Justin's story is phenomenal. And I was listening to it in the car on the way here. But he's this young kid from Mysore who created Vox Pop content in Bangalore. He used to leave Mysore, come to Bangalore, shoot Vox Pop on MG Road and go back every weekend, right? Yeah. And that to me just showed that this guy really wants this, right? It's so easy to create content today. Anybody can sit and talk. Anyone can do a Vox Pop. The barrier to entry is too low. How do you decide whether someone really wants it, right? And I feel like if you see that someone really wants it, a lot of the other things you have to assume it'll get figured out, and that's a risk worth taking. Yeah. And just he's been really upfront, really honest, really wants to grow.
So what's the deal?
What's the deal?
Yeah.
We're working on helping him reach his full potential, whether it's his personal brand, whether it's building IPs, the brand deals we're getting him, or the kind of networking opportunities. We want to, with anything that we do, right? If we do, let's say we do personal branding for CEOs, we manage talent and we manage creators. We work with brands as an end-to-end creative marketing agency. We don't work with more than 5 at a time. That's by design. Because I genuinely want to work on those 5, right? I don't want to be a founder who doesn't know what's going on in my agency. Because in an agency, usually it's about volume. Right? You have 100 clients, put more people. It's a money printing machine. But I want to have an agency only to learn and to actually help these people. So I think Justin is one of those people where we really have an opportunity to help him as he navigates. He's only about 22, right? So as he navigates over the next 3 years, I think that can define his journey as a creator. And a lot of the conversations, for example, recently I was having with Justin, and it blew my mind how receptive he was he was doing a lot of content with young people in social settings. And let's say maybe in social settings, people are having fun.
Yeah.
They may be having a drink,
Yeah.
right? And it was working. He's one of the fastest growing creators in his category.
Yeah.
He was awarded 1 lakh cash prize by Instagram, which is unheard of.
Unheard of, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's such a powerful story. And when I was sitting and talking to him, and since last summit, we were having this reflection moment as a brand saying, it's great we make viral reels. It's great people know us. It's great we have followers. It's great that we work with these brands. But why are we doing this? Why does the hub exist? Why does Justin have 50,000 followers? And why is he a creator/influencer? Why? Why do we wake up every morning and make 20 pieces of content across 8 platforms? Why? And if that why is not aligned and rechecked once every few months or years, then you lose that connect, and then that's how burnout happens. Right? So I was feeling that for me. I was feeling that for the hub. And when we started saying, we said no, we declared, it was like crazy. The last 3 weeks have been like insane at the hub. We've had to say no to some clients that we had said we would work with you. We've really defined our value proposition, our niche, what we want to do, and we want to work with brands or creators that make a positive impact. Right? Sure, our team is young. They may go out and they may have fun, and they may, let's say, go to Bob's Bar. But do we want to represent the power we have as a media company, as an agency? Do we want to put it behind a product or a service with a negative externality? Right? Do we want to do that? I personally realize now I don't. And that's why when I was talking to Justin and telling him, you built this amazing niche around artists, nightlife, and young people. But think about it, 3 years later, once you realize you have a 1 million strong community, and you look back and you're like, what message did I tell them? What will make you happy then? And it blew my mind, because I thought he would resist saying that, no, this is working, I'm growing, it's going viral. But he actually was like, you know what? This makes sense. I want to be proud of the work that I've done. And I've seen him struggle over the last few weeks and have a huge decline in engagement, because he's pivoting and reinventing himself as a creator to be more positive, impact driven. And to me, that gave me goosebumps. Like right now, I don't know if you can see, but I have goosebumps, because he's doing something that is illogical. But that shows me that this guy is someone I want to back.
You know, You've not said anything more true on this podcast, man. Because I'll tell you the biggest conversation we have here, right? And this is where it is. So there's a creator, the creator's popping, the content's popping. But then you very soon realize you are getting defined by only that content. The day you change that content, you're gonna get shit.
Right.
You're gonna get unfollows. And then also a lot of these people are early 20s. So there's fear. Oh fuck, my life's going down, which means let me roll out another video of the same content. And then there are a lot of people who have tried to stay up to that definition and then landed up in a burnout, mental health issues. You see a lot of creators that existed 18 months ago don't exist anymore. And that's because of the exact burnout. And this plunge that you just spoke about is the very plunge every creator needs to keep it sustainable. And crazy how you've got it, and crazy that he accepted it. Follow-up question to that. So what is it? How does a creator work with the hub? So what, they come to Azaan's Instagram and say, hey Azaan, can I work with you?
No, they're
probably not going to get a reply.
They probably want him really bad.
Like they're not going to get a reply.
So I personally don't use social media or WhatsApp and all of these things too much. I'm a little slow on that, but it's only because I'm just trying to protect my brain, and I'm trying to focus on helping the people that are part of the hub, right? For 42 people are like just about the most my brain is able to like kind of manage right now. But the thing with us is we are not looking to go find creators to represent. We are not looking to go get brands to work with. We are doing what we are doing. And if a brand or creator likes our way of doing it, they can come and talk to us, right? I appreciate some of the people that I love the most in the hub right now have been people who walked in and said, I want to be here. I know I belong here. Here is what I want to do. Here is why it's good for me. Here is why it's good for you. clients have come in like that, people in our team have come in like that, and Justin came in like that, right? So if someone really believes that we can add value to them and they understand it, then they come and they talk to us. But we're not actively going out there and saying we want to sign 5 creators this year or 50 creators or 500 creators. No, we're just trying to make a positive impact in our small little way. And if someone comes in and they feel like we can do something better together, then please come into the hub.
Yeah, just walk in.
Just walk in.
Walk in and talk.
Yeah.
The NAS Summit was a milestone.
Oh my God, amazing day. Amazing day, amazing moment. Again, a tribute to the over 100 people that have been part of the Hub's journey from over the last 7 years, right? Every single person, every smile delivered. We have something inside. It's like a really cute thing we have on Notion. It's called the Smile Tracker. Okay. Right? And we commit an X amount of budget every month towards a smile tracker where our community managers go and buy different fun stuff from lollipops all the way to roses. And they just go and distribute smiles randomly throughout the month to people. They just go up to people and make their day. Right? So it's each smile that was delivered, thousands of smiles, each member that was kind of nurtured. Like if someone's living with us for 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, that relationship has to be like nurtured. It has to be valued, and that takes a lot of emotional effort from our team. Of course, there's the content side and the agency side and all of this side, which kind of came together to put us in a place where we could be a small part of something as big as NAS Summit. But it's truly like, it was an inflection point moment for me because it made me realize we need to focus more on impact.
Why did the Hub grab that deal?
Again, we don't grab things. So that's just...
No, but did it come to you or you all went for it?
That's the thing about the way that we build things.
Okay.
We don't try to go get something. We just try to, let's say we want to make a positive impact or we want to grow the creator economy in India, we just start helping creators. And then I believe if we do it well enough, long enough, and impact is what's driving us, so we can't burn out.
Yeah.
Things will come. Even the biggest things in the world will come. And when they come, it's just organic. It just happens. And then you don't have ego. And then you don't talk about things like money. And then you just do it. And that's just how we've done things.
And were you happy with the way the summit played out?
Yeah, I mean, again, it was all these emotions for me. And there were, again, even with something like NAS Summit, a part of me is always just trying to make more impact. I wanted to help more people. I wanted to get more people to be there. When I was coming here, I saw a DM from you, right? You had messaged me about like something to do with the summit.
Yeah.
And I think I'd sent you something. But there was an issue with the code or something, right?
Yeah.
Like to me, on the way here, I saw that twice and it bothered me. I was like, fuck, I should have, even though I was trying to manage all of these things, I should have seen it and gotten back and figured out what went wrong. But it's not because I have to. And it's not because of this podcast, but it's because you are someone that is doing something that I connect with, because I went on a similar journey, right? And if I can come here without a blueprint, you have so many blueprints today. Imagine where you will be in 3 years, right? And I'm like, that's cool. Like, why wouldn't I enable that if I have the opportunity given by someone that is giving me that opportunity, right?
I saw you in the videos that were, kind of rolled out with the NAS Summit. I was like a kid in a candy store.
I am a kid. I am the biggest kid at the hub. Like, I am a kid. And imagine that day, I was like totally a kid.
How was meeting him?
Oh my God, amazing. I think, so we've been working with this team for almost 2 years now, and we've been working on multiple projects. We're going to be working on really interesting things moving forward too. But I think the best way to understand how someone is to see the way their team talks about them, and like working with his team and kind of seeing the way that they spoke about his energy and his speed and all of these things. And in a lot of cases, I related a lot to that. It makes me feel like I'm not crazy, right?
Yeah,
because
that's huge.
I'm very, very hyper, and I like to move very, very fast. And I feel like oftentimes people are like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, you're not supposed to be this quick or this fast or this hyper. You are the founder. You need to be stable." But then when I go and get to see another creator / entrepreneurial person who's going out there doing all of this, going fast, saying on stage, "Yo, come here, camera guy, you come here," like with 1,000 people there, I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess this is the way you can do business today, or you can make an impact today.
Well, pretty crazy, right? Like from what started as a wish to, being associated with a brand like the NAS Summit is just like, it stands proof to the fact that when you just chase with true intention, like really there's no limit to how far things can go. And that also kind of goes back to what you keep talking about the hub in terms of not defining its end goal, because you can't. Right? What you can define as the intention, is the foundation, is the why. It's not your job to define where it's going to go.
See, I feel like my honest truth is I was very good at defining the how for the first 6 years of the hub. It's only in the last few months that I've understood the why. So the how was, we will treat each other with respect. There is no bureaucracy. Even at 42 people, it's completely flat. Like someone who comes in as an intern versus someone who's been there for 5 years, they debate and the intern's idea may go out, right? It is actually like that, and it's not because I'm saying it sounds weird, but it just happens because that's the culture. So how we build things and how we treat each other and the vibe and the energy was always defined, and we were amazing at it. I can say it confidently. Why are we doing what we're doing? I feel like we're trying to define that now, right? But what are we doing? I don't know still. I really don't know. So, and I think it's kind of cool because when you know that, it's almost like that saying, right? Enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
So we focused on the journey first, that how we're going to do it. It sounds really freaking whack, but that's what happened. And not knowing what almost makes it like everyone there is an entrepreneur. Everyone there's like, what could we do? Like, can we sell t-shirts? Or like, maybe there is literally a page on Notion called Hub Cuts, where we have haircuts at the hub as a real legit business.
I've seen this.
So I don't know what we're gonna do, but I feel like whatever we do, the way we do it will be the same. It will be that vibey, community, fun, social, making people come together. That's our DNA.
No time for relationships?
Me?
Yeah.
At the moment, no. I look at it like I have 42 relationships. You can call them kids or companions or friends. But I think for me right now, especially like because work takes up so much of my time and I link everything I do into my work, even if it's something like a social cause I tied into my work. I really want to have time to spend with my parents and with my grandparents because my grandparents are getting old. And I think just between all of this, I am content. Like I'm really content, and I think I just need to like balance that time a little better.
So what? There are no dates. There's no DMs. There's no like.
I mean,
or are you saying, dude? You know what? I can't look at it right now. You know what? I'm happy with how things are going. I don't want to fuck it up.
No, I've had great relationships. There have been times where like I've thought that.
Did you ever want to be married?
Yeah, I've come close to being married.
Yeah, and then it didn't work.
Yeah, but but right now I'm at a place where I don't know, like I've always been someone who has never understood the concept of marriage in the conventional sense, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't get it. I don't. I mean, I
what the fuck is that?
I respect it. I appreciate it. I love it for my dearest friends who have it. But I'm like,
do I want to sign up? Yeah, it's difficult. I think, even the way we're building our lives now is so different. I think the definitions are changing. We want to be happy. We want to be. I'm not saying you can't be happily married. Like that's not where I'm going with it. But I think it's worth to kind of take a few steps back and also look at what are these systems that were built, right? Not just professionally, but even personally, because then you might actually define your life very differently.
By the way, it's funny because most people may not know this, but I'm in the wedding business too. So we have our rooftops are called Safina Banquets. We've had over 500 weddings that we have executed in the last 7 years. So it's really funny when people ask me about weddings. I'm like, I think I execute so many weddings that by the end of it, when I have to like even think about one more, I'm like, no, right? But as a business opportunity and in terms of, again, making an impact, I think people often talk about the more fun aspects and the fun brands. But I think a lot of what I do at the Hub is powered by the fact that I have a really good wedding business and a really good team. In fact, our wedding business is a client of our agency at the Hub.
Wow.
So we really try and link everything up together.
Clearly. What time have you been sleeping?
In the last 3 weeks, I've completely like been focused in terms of like improving all my sleep and all of these things. But otherwise, before it was like really late, like 3:30, 4 sometimes.
Yeah.
And I also go into the office slightly late, but I'm also there till like really late. But now, like in the last 3 weeks, it's been like a whole other new story. Let's see how long this lasts.
Nice, man. This was good. I'm glad you spoke, and I'm glad you took every question to where it needed to be taken. I hope you had a good time.
Of course, and I feel like with every time like I sit down and I talk to people, I feel like when I look back at it, I just think I better understood myself. But at the same time, I think that only happens if the person asks the right questions. So I really like the questions you asked.
Glad, man. Glad. There's a lot more that we can speak about. But I think, this is something that, I'd want to share with you, right? And this is pretty integral. And I know the Hub is already like documenting how things go, and you'll do a lot of content around how things work at the office. So that's also like documentation of the Hub's journey, right? But yeah, I definitely want to be in a place where we do our bit of documentation of the Hub and Azaan over the years, where this is not the only part, because Azaan in 2023 won't be the same as, say, Azaan in 2025. And hopefully 10 years down the line, we make a good documentary out of all these sessions, and we gift it to you on your wedding.
How about this? You gift it to me on the 1,000th wedding I executed.
Oh, that's a better one. Anyway, thanks, man. This was the first time we met you, and it's definitely not going to be the last. It's inspiring for us to sit here and listen to what else we can do with what we're doing, because it's clear, like there are things that that I don't, and that inspires me. There are things that you all are doing that we wish we are doing, and that inspires me, to learn. And there are creators that are going to benefit out of what you're doing, and that's huge, because I still feel like the importance that a creator should get just by society as an average is fucking 1 out of 10, right? It needs to go up. But yeah, it's a journey, and I'm glad you're pioneering that.
No, I think I get to learn something about what it means to being a creator every single day. And I think being here today and then getting your take on it and trying to see at least a glimpse of what I'm sure you have a master plan for what you're trying to build, that it's all part of helping people understand what it means to be a creator.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So this was Azaan Sait on episode number 80 of On a Personal Note with Adarsh Sakare. Quite an episode. I hope you all liked it. More to come with Azaan. I'm sure there'll be future episodes. But if you like this, and let us know what you liked about it. What were the points that made you think about? And thank you for joining in. If you're watched till here, you're a pretty patient person. It's been an hour. Thanks for watching till here. I think this was a great story. Azaan, all the best with everything you're trying to build.
Thank you so
all the best to your team. A big shout out to your family, because without them, there's nothing. A big shout out to every single person working at the Hub. I think they've signed up for something that's authentic. That's true. And they should consider themselves lucky, because they have a chance of being a part of this. and everyone working at the Hub. Wake up happy. Be glad the opportunity came to you. It's not every day that someone wakes up and builds a venture like this, and I'm sure that what Azaan puts into this is something that you all are able to see, but maybe not, right? Like it's not easy to be in those shoes. All the best to everyone.
Thank you so much. Lovely talking to you.
This was episode 80. See you all on the next one, guys. Thank you so much.